All right guys, phase 4 Thursday. This is a combos again. We're gonna do 30 seconds of work with a 20-second another exercise, a combo exercise. So there's really no rest except for that 1 minute transition between. So in this one, we're gonna use plates. We're gonna start on the ground. We're gonna start off with a plate skull crusher. So first thing to think about, we want their knees down, back flat. Make sure they have no back pain in this one. Elbows up. And our skull crushing is not actually gonna be to the skull, it's gonna be a little bit behind the head. Touch here, 1. Or you don't really have to count, you're just gonna go for 30 seconds, okay? So again, elbows breaking, coming down, back and forth. Let it touch the ground. That gives them a little bit of a point to know where they're at. Just up and down that. This one's gonna feel easy at the beginning, but it's really gonna add up at the time. So I think 15, 25, 35, 45 is gonna be pretty hard for a lot of people, so I wouldn't go that heavy. But staying on those lighter weights. For some people, this plate might be too large because they're tall, they're short. It's okay to grab those metal plates and do it with a metal plate as well. From there, we're gonna pair that together with tight grip. So elbows tight here, coming down nice and tight to the body, and we're just pressing out. We call it closed grip presses. And we want that to be quick. You're gonna feel that a lot in the chest. We're also gonna feel in the tricep areas. It's gonna kind of be a combo together on that one. We wanna make sure to keep the elbows as tight as possible so we get as much of the triceps as we can. From there, we're gonna move on to kettlebells. So the kettlebells, we have kettlebell swings or skier swings. We've been doing skier swings the last few weeks with dumbbells on the outside. Please keep challenging people to do skier swings if they want to go heavier. So if they're at 50 pounds and that 50 pounds is too light for them, don't be afraid to have them grab 230s, which is 60 pounds, to do skier swings. So go ahead and recommend kettlebell swings or skier swings. So kettlebell swing, we're gonna start out with it in front. We're gonna hike it towards our crotch area, right? Nice good engagement over back, pull that kettlebell apart. Tack the zipper as it comes through, snap our hips, control back down, snap our hips, coming through. Big thing on that, core engaged, holding it tight to the body. We're not squatting on this, we're not nice and low, we're tight to the crotch as we come through. From there, our modification is gonna be kettlebell RDLs. Drive hips back and up. Not a deadlift, an actual RDL now, which we want to get those hamstrings engaged like we're doing with the glutes as well with the swings. So those are our 2 variations on that one. We're going to pair that together with a toe touch. So it's not going to be too hard of a thing, but the reason we're doing the toe touch, drive the hips back, come down, touch as far down as possible, come up, squeeze the glutes every single time. The reason we're doing that is a lot of people get lower back issues on this one, so we're trying to let that lower back relax, hamstrings relax, the body just kind of relax in between, back and forth. More of a mobility comparison with this one, okay? Moving on to exercise number 3. We're going to be working on the core on this one. We're going to start with the dumbbell side bend. So with dumbbell side bends, the big thing is people can actually carry a lot more weight in this position than they realize. So I would recommend people not grabbing 20s. Probably females are going to be like 25 to 40, and guys are going to be maybe 40 to 60. We really, especially stronger people, we want to make sure we're really forcing this core to engage. So I like to keep my feet about shoulder width apart. I'm going to come down and try to touch right above my knee as I come down this position, drive right above my knee. Then from here, I'm going to really concentrate on pulling here, over pull, just a little bit. We don't need to go forward, over. Okay, we're really concentrating on that pull through the core. But we need the weight to be heavy enough for them to really feel that. And a heavier weight really does make a big difference on this one. So we're going to do one side, we're going to have a 20-second break. A 20-second break, feet wide, and we're going to stay tall. We're just going to touch to that knee, side. As you get going, you'll realize you don't have to go crazy fast, but you'll start to feel like on the heel-to-heel crunch, or touch that we do, that one gets that core obliques engaged. This one gets the obliques engaged as well over time, especially when you pair that together with that. Next one, we'll come over and do the opposite side here, back and forth between those two. So it's dumbbell side bend. Going on to number 3, this one gets a little spicy, because anytime you're doing an overhead shoulder press, those shoulders get pretty smoked. So we're going to have orange bands, red bands, black bands. I think purple's going to be too much for most people, so I think black is as heavy as we need to go on this one. We're going to stand on top of the band, coming through in this position here, abs tight. It's not a push press, it's just a strict press, up and down. As you see with my elbows, I'm keeping them out far. I'm not too tight in between here. When we get too tight, it has a tendency to rub up people's shoulders. But if I can get that band out to the outside, I can keep it off my shoulder pretty well. Teaching that's important, because a lot of people get sore shoulders from this one because it's rubbing. But this allows the band to stay away from my body and not rub so much as it do that. Our modification for that one is going to be a band pull part. Core tight, pulling, in that position. That's really only if they need to. We really want to encourage people to do that shoulder press if they can get away with it. And we're going to pair that together with jumping jacks. So the reason we're pairing with jumping jacks is to get that heart rate elevated, get a little bit more cardio, but also the shoulders involved in that forces the body to really have to engage as we come in the shoulder position over top. Going nice and quick in that 20 seconds. People are having shoulder issues, they can always do a cross. It's still going to get the shoulders involved. Or if they can't jump, they can do a step variation or marching variation on this, right? Oh, sorry. Top, back, and forth. The main thing I'm really looking for, yeah, the cardio is nice, but for people I really want to get their shoulders continue to be activated on, okay? And the last one we're going to do is something with a medicine ball.
Big ball slams.
So, medicine ball slam on this one. So we're going to take a medicine ball, 12 pounds or down is going to be the big thing we're going to do on this one. So we're going to do 12 pounds or down because the reason we choose 12 pounds comes down to be the ball doesn't bounce on a 20 pounds. 14 might get a little bounce, but realistically it doesn't come up very high. Now you do have to be careful a little bit with the 12 pounders and lower because they do rebound, but they rebound pretty quickly too. You don't want to get standing over top of it, pop yourself right back in the face either. So they have to be make sure they're coming down quick. So the big thing they're thinking about is a tall body, abs tight, glute squeeze, right? We're getting a little bend over as we come down, but we're not like, it's not like a medicine ball swing where you're coming down like this. If you do, that ball's gonna rebound right in the head. So you're gonna stay taller, core tall, slam hard. Like that. You're gonna do that for 30 seconds. Coming off that shoulder position, their shoulders are gonna be smoked after doing that for 30 seconds. And then we're gonna pair that together with running in place. So running in place, trying to go nice and quick. Knees high, knees high, knees high. A lot of people aren't gonna be able to do knees high, so this would be more running in place from here. If somebody can't run at all, they can always do some type of march variation. If they're gonna do a march, I'd probably tell them to hold on to the ball and give them a little bit more something to add to that march position as we're going through. But most people are gonna be able to do some variation of running in place. All right guys, the finisher for this one is gonna be 3 exercises and we're gonna do ascending reps. So first round is gonna be 5 of each, then 10 of each, 15 of each. You just go up by 5s each round for infinity, or as long as, I think it's a 6-minute finisher, so as long as the 6 minutes last, okay? So, or 5 minutes. No, 6 minutes finisher. So, on that one, in terms of that, so what we're gonna do for exercise number 1 is gonna be a bootstrapper. So, bootstrapper, on the hands in here, inside the elbows, we're gonna drive the hips all the way up and down. 1, 2, 3. They can also do that body weight, hands in here, up and down. If they can't do that exercise, we're going to do a rack climb instead. Instead of doing slams, it gives them a little bit of mix-up, so we're doing slams inside the workout. So instead here, we're just going to have their hands pull on here, kind of climbing down and up. Gives that nice 90-degree knee angle, and it makes it so that meniscus isn't predisposed in that front position. Helps them though, they'll definitely get a lot of quad burn around that. So that's going to be for 5 reps. Then we go straight into glute bridges. So down here, hips up, squeeze it, 5. As the rounds go on, this actually gets extremely hard, the glute bridges, because your hips get so tight. When you go to extend over here, you'll feel this in the hips, you'll feel it at the end of the knees. So the glute bridges are going to be pretty hard for a lot of people. Just a regular glute bridge, you don't need to add a band to it. And then we're going to turn over for the 5 plank jumps. Here, 1, 2. Try to keep those hips in line, not up. We're not bouncing up, right? Just stay control. 5 of those. If they can't do a jumping, they can just do a step out and just do 5 total. 1, 2, 3, because I'd rather them get back into those bootstrappers quicker if they can, okay? So then they go 10, 15, 20, and so forth. But the big thing to think about as they get going on is making sure that they keep going and trying not to stop as much as possible.